Welcome, beloved Sangha, to our Serkhangma Commentary series, led by our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin today's session in the yellow Gajin Buddhist Institute prayer book on page 4 and page 5 with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Tamke doje shajir sondra, shenjamata doje bonjomba, sirje lomba tabra jibaka. Shakje jarbe jadang zanzar, dorjen janjen telo narodang, marbamala chija gamboba. Pamo druba jawan dugongba, kajula manamje tajon je, dana dana zira tamje do, lama labela ye jizozong. La son yon den jam zung a la wan, den de tong jin de be ge le zo, da ge lo, chu zon de war sin je lab do, so chu lam dan de war sin je lab do, lam de wa ze war sin je lab do, so de wa yi zon ja war sin je lab do, so kang ge den jen de war jo, ga ba me ba je Chiba me ba ta me ba wa me ba ro me ba ta de do me do je me chupa nye she she den ba zo ba san je ma nan je tam ba de la jan zar do dun je za ba la ma je je ku son do je sin lan ta da da ge ju lan pe de da ge den ba da sim jin je do ja jin ban ro ba ra sin je la do zor grant your blessings so that my mind may be one with the Dharma. Grant your blessings so that the Dharma may progress along the path. Grant your blessings so that the path may clarify confusion. Grant your blessing so that I may transform confusion into wisdom. Many Tashitele, dear Dharma friends. Today we will continuously discuss on the 7th branch of our Golden Temple. Then we are on the branch of offering. The branch of offering, it has 22 visualizations. So today we are on the 14th. In the 14th visualization, again visualize yourself as Yidam deity, from your heart chakra radiate rays of light in all directions, providing all the pure lands of all the Buddhas with various medicines. The first one is called Arura, and it is the king of medicines. It is also known as Marrowblan, which is a plant in India that is used in Ayurvedic medicine. Next are offerings. Okay, so why do we visualize as Yidam deities oneself? Perhaps you have a question that during the preliminary practice, as well outer mandala offering, at that time we should be as an ordinary being. But in this time, when we practice 7 branch of offering, we have to visualize oneself as a Yidam deity. What are differences between them? The difference is that this 7 branch is a tantric practice. So the Sutara practice and Tantra practice practices are a little different, because in the Vajrayana practice we have to engage. We have to apply many methods, because we apply many methods. Through this way we can find many ideas, and then we can quickly accumulate great merit, and we can purify our obscurations. However, the tantric practice, we were able to attain Buddhahood in one life, or sometimes do not need take a long time. It instantaneously we will attain Buddhahood. Perhaps we think, okay, then we don't want to practice Sutarayana, because however we should become enlightened, so if we practice only Vajrayana, it's okay. But this is okay or not, it's depending on yourself. For instance, in the Vajrayana, you would utilize 5 afflictive emotions, and through this way then you will able to arise supreme wisdoms and joys, especially you gain great realization. So if you can do that, then yes, you practice only Vajrayana is okay. But it is not only Vajrayana practice. If you understand how to practice clearly, and you practice it purely, then you practice both. I mean Vajrayana and Sutrayana. They have not difference. But if you cannot utilize afflictive emotions. For instance, if you cannot transform angry emotion into mirror-like wisdom, then you should practice Sutarayana. Sutarayana is also a special method to conquer the four maras, especially the mara of afflictive emotions. So at that time, then if you are when you are angry to someone or some issue, at that time, if angry emotion controls to you, that means you should practice more on Sutarayana. It's same like other afflictive emotions. If you for instance, jealousy, the emotion of jealousy, if you when it arises, if you can transform it into rejoice, and and then you can transform it wisdom, especially from these luminosity radiate Yidam deities as well as 5 family Buddhas. And that means you can practice, of course you are practitioner of Vajrayana. Then you should do you more focus on Vajrayana practices. But the emotions controls to you, which means when you are angry, harsh word comes out from your mouth, and it harms to your peaceful mind, and so forth. Then first we have to make clean, pure, and so forth. As well, you know, for example, there are 5 nectars and 5 meats. They are still quite hard to eat. For example, we say we are Vajrayana practitioners, but somebody gave you the 5 nectars and 5 meats. Maybe you will run away. You cannot eat them. So that means we have to purify. So that means our mind is not yet pure and clean. For that reasons, we have to more purify. So, for example, if we are going to clean this temple, then the best thing is, for example, before we use a broom. So broom is the best thing. Recently we use vacuum. So these are helpful. So similarly, to purify our obscurations and the 5 afflictive emotions, then we have to engage Sutarayana method. They are greatly a benefit to us. And then we will continuously I think it's okay. Next are offerings of supreme sandalwood, saffron, givang, camphor, or it's a samage, a medicine that neutralizes all poisons, and long pepper. Long pepper comes a medicinal plant and cures all kinds of cold disorders. It tastes spicy and sweet, and it promotes stomach warmth. It also removes phlegm and wind disease, and facilitates breathing and helps with the blood circulation. Next is metrical feet, which is a special medicine. In particular, we offer medicinal pills that are compounded from mercury. In short, all the varieties of beneficial medicine that bring about health, balance, and vigor are offered in perpetuity, in quantities sufficient to provide all arises, all areas throughout all the regions of the universe. Their function is to please the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and their nature is the perfect wisdom of the Buddhas. Thus, merely seeing them is enough to eliminate the sickness associated with the kilashas, the afflictive mental states among all living beings, and to further the spiritual maturity of their mental continuums, take extensive offerings in this way. So, why should we offer these kind of wonderful medicinal plants to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas? Perhaps you thought, are they sick? No, they are not. So whether we offer medicinal plants or we offer other precious gems or whatever we offer, precious jewels, whatever we offer them, they don't need it. But for accumulate great merit over practitioners, ourselves. So that the for example, what is the merits? Actually, all Buddhas are usually we count there are 1,000 Buddhas, but there are countless Buddhas. Actually, we cannot count because each and every beings have Buddha nature. So Buddha nature means Buddha. So right now we don't know they are Buddha. Even we don't know our mind is Buddha. Our minds are Buddha. When we recognize these, our minds are Buddha, then Buddha nature or Buddha, no difference. No different. So we offer these medicinal plants to the Buddhas. There are different kinds of merit. In temporary, it will less sick. We can reduce many diseases. Even through bodhicitta, we generate bodhicitta. Also, we generate oneself as a Yidam deity, and then from one's chakra radiates lights, and through this way, then we offer many medicinal plants to Buddhas. Then, in the ultimate level, we will attain Buddhahood. And when we become Buddha, then we will become as a medicine Buddha. So Buddha's power are same, but according means related our way of accumulating merits. In the relative level, they are different. For example, if you more offer kind of medicinal plants, and you more supplicate to reduce disease, sickness, illness. And when you attain Buddhahood, or when you become Bodhisattva, then your activity flourish through this way. So Shakyamuni Buddha and medicine Buddha has only difference is color right now in front of our mind. The reality, medicine Buddha is Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha is medicine Buddha. But we recite medicine Buddha's mantra. It makes more benefit to reduce or purify the sickness, illness, and so forth. So that's why actually this is the interdependence of what is called the cause and the effect. So we more engage about the merit of offering medicinal plants and so forth, then it will benefit us more in this life to less suffer. In this life also has great benefit to we will not often getting sick and so forth. Whether we are sick or not, our main disease is ignorance, and then grasping, and then five afflictive emotions. So if we will not cut the root of ignorance, then phlegm disease is still remain in our life. If we will not cut the root of wind disease, then cut the root of desire, then wind disease still will remain. And if we don't cut the root of angry emotion, then kind of a gallbladder disease, they all remains. Because if we cut some branch of some trees, but the root of that tree still remain under the ground, and then in a few months later or years later, it will grow again. It's same. So that's why we have to cut the root of those afflictive emotions. So cut the root of those afflictive emotions. How we will cut? Cut means actually we should change our mind. We should change our perceptions. So how to change is according to this practice. Then we should understand we are Yidam deities. And if you think, actually I am not Tara, but I am going to visualize Tara, I am going to visualize myself as a Tara. If you think like that, then this practice is actually good, but not best. So Lord Jigten Sunggu has a special instruction on the generation stage, practice on the generation stage. What is the special instruction? Is that when we visualize oneself as Yidam deities, we are real Yidam deities. So we visualize oneself as Yidam deity. This is a reality. Lord Jigten Sunggu said that. So if we are going to accomplish successfully completion stage, we must practice on generation stage. If we are going to accomplish successfully insight meditation of Vipassana, we must practice on shamatha, because they support each others, especially if we, for example, we practice vipassana. If our shamatha meditation is not so well, then we can able to arise clarity, lucidity momentarily, but it will not certain. So similarly, if we don't visualize generation stage well, then completion stage, even we just relax, just rest on the nature state of mind for a little while, but and then it will not able to stay longer. So that's why the first we meditate on the shamatha, and we become stable, and then we practice vipassana. Then our vipassana practice or meditation going very well. Similarly, we often try to visualize ourselves as Idam deity, because these we have 5 aggregates. These are 5 family Buddhas, and so then other part of our body, all of them are the mandala of Yidams, and then they are Yidam deities. So okay, now we meditate for a little while on the 14th visualization, as I already told you. So if you have kind of more knowledge about medicine and herbal medicine and so forth, you can visualize all of them offer to the Buddhas. If you don't have much knowledge about different medicines, and then today I mentioned there, some part maybe you know, some part maybe you don't know before, but it's okay, whatever, which part you know, and then you offer that part. Okay, first you visualize yourself as Idam deity. Thank you. So, perhaps you have ever recite the root text of Serkhangma for many times, but maybe you did not visualize like right now we are doing. I don't mean we are doing special, but we are always busy with the time or something, and so we don't have much time to visualize. So if we visualize, it has a great benefit, and then we recite, and then we understand. All of them have a great benefit, but the visualization has a special beneficial because the Dharma practice means we have to fixed our ordinary mind, or we have to change our mind. So how to change is our ordinary mind means we just follow in ordinary thoughts. So that's why we are so busy in 24/7. But through visualization, we come into the natural state of mind or paramodal awareness. So that's why it has a great benefit. If we rest in natural state of mind or for a little while, then we are step by step close to attain Buddhahood. And also, it has another benefit is usually we recite a lot. It actually says sometimes finish nails but not finish afflictive emotions. So that means always recite with the mala. It's the nail finish, but afflictive emotions still stay in the mind. So we don't want to become like that. So we recite is important. Recitation is important. At the same time, visualize. So now in the short period, we visualize, and you slowly become familiar. And then you do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then after a few months or a few years later, when you read some text, suddenly you can focus the meditation. So that's why it has a great benefit. Then in the 15th visualization, again visualize yourself as Yadam deity. From your heart chakra radiate rays of light in all directions. So why we have to radiate rays of light in all directions? Because we are in the like a middle. We are in the center. So then we provide all of directions. That means we offer to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We offer them all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. At that moment, our mind become wide and wide, and then it will open greatly. When our mind open greatly, then these temporary sufferings, temporary obstacles, they cannot challenge in our mind. Let them come. Little problems, those obstacles, let them come. When they come, when we say let them come, that means they cannot challenge. We try to kick them out, that means they more challenge to us. So that's why the light, the rays of light in all directions are providing all the Buddha fields. They transform into grains, grains and fruit of every wholesome variety, like rice, barley, wheat, how to say malt. I think malt, millet, millet, sesame, mustard, sesame mustard, papayas, mangoes. No, we know, right? Those are every day we are engaged with them. Mangoes and so forth. All are perfect and wholesome, free of the various faults that could affect such grains and fruit. And they are offered in extent sufficient to supply all the different realms. The offering continued unbroken from now for as long as the universe exists. Its function is to please all of the Buddhas without exception. And its nature is perfect wisdom. The mere sight of these by living beings frees them from all types of misery, poverty, and deprivation. They obtain the highest pleasure and happiness from just seeing these things. It brings about spiritual maturity in living beings. Meditating in this way make this offering vast, so that it extends to all worlds. Lord Jigten Sungkun said, if you offer or mentally create for your guru wonderful, auspicious things, as well as the 7 royal positions and 8 auspicious signs, then the guru will always be a pure object for offering. If you don't have the actual objects, then if you aspire to offer them and mentally offer them, then eventually the opportunity will come to actually offer the objects. That's why when you offer or mentally create something to the guru, mentally fill all of space with the offering. When you offer to the guru, say Om Vajra Rupa Ahong. Vajra means emptiness. Rupa means all appearances. Ahong means non-dual, appearance and emptiness. When we make offerings to Tara, for example, Rupa refers to how all appearances appear in emptiness, like appearances is a mirror. The temporal benefit of offering to your guru is that you will receive offerings yourself from your disciples and students, and so on. You will gain many disciples and much wealth. But these you will gain many disciples and much wealth means actually how much you have wealth. This is not big deal. But even you have small things, if you can make great marriage with that thing, then that means great or much wealth. So if you have a lot of things, but you have a very strong greed, then these things are cause of hunger ghost, because you have a strong greed with them, and then you cannot utilize that to offer Buddhas and gurus, and you cannot generous to the lower realms. So even you cannot use by yourself, then always you are grasping on them. So then in the next life, then the result happens in the hunger ghost realm. And sometimes if you are very much grasping with something, even you cannot use it by yourself, and then after died, and then one take rebirth of kind of bugs, and then you just stay on there. For example, if I have a small piece of bread, I cannot offer it to the Buddhas. I cannot dedicate it to the hungry beings, and then even I cannot eat that. Only I grasping with that, and then I keep it. And if I die suddenly, and then I will rebirth. Of course, I cannot rebirth human life. I cannot take rebirth human life, but I take rebirth like a bugs, and then just stay on there. So then same like disciples. How many disciples means actually if you are teach as Buddha's instruction, as Guru's instruction, then there are lots of listeners, not only humans, and non-humans. That's where in the King of Noble Aspiration it says Buddha knows all languages. Why do Buddha need to know all languages? Because his single words listened by different beings, and they also understand. So that's why when during the teaching, actually this is not perhaps not so much related to you right now, but it is related to you, because even you recite Om Mani Padme Hum Shri when you see some bugs in their ears, that is also same as teaching to them. So we should teach through compassion and bodhicitta. Without compassion and bodhicitta, then it's quite hard to say over how much skillfully teach how much you have knowledge, it's quite hard to benefit to others. So this is the reality. This is the nature. For example, if you have to take care of plants as well as a small tree, that tree need water. Water is important. Bodhicitta and compassions are like a water. So if we bring lots of big stones round of the tree, make a very big fence round of the tree, without water, that tree may be well dry, will not grow. Similarly, without bodhicitta and compassion, then not only teachings, all the activities cannot greatly benefit. So if we have bodhicitta and compassion, then mundane activities also can benefit others. For example, mother loves to us. For example, my mom loves to me. Her love is a mundane love. But from her love, I was grow. It's same like you have a father or you have grandparents or friends. They have mundane love, but they are sincerely love you. So then it benefit to you. So we have to learn from these experiences, and when we are ready to help others, we always think, we always apply bodhicitta and compassion. Bodhicitta has different layers, compassion has too. For example, bodhicitta, usually we say, may all mother thinking beings attain Buddhahood. That is great bodhicitta. But if you cannot think it, at least you help others sincerely. So this is bodhicitta. First, we will erase bodhicitta like a fire spark, very small. So we don't ignore that. This is our practitioner's mistake. That I'm sorry, maybe you don't have that kind of me. It has this mistake, kind of it's engaged kind of this mistake. Something small experiences arise, ignore them. So if this small, then expect very big, higher experience, then that cannot arise. Then between there's nothing. We ignore small benefit and we expect a very big benefit. Between there, then there is a part of life. So nothing to get anything. So we will not do like that. We can, I think everybody can erase a small bodhicitta mind, like a fire spark. The fire spark is very small, but it can burn the mountains. So similarly, we have to keep that small bodhicitta when it arises in our mind. Of course, we have to acknowledge, oh, that is bodhicitta, and I love it, and I like it, and I need it. And then we will promote, progress, develop. This is very important. So you should love bodhicitta. This is very important. When you hear bodhicitta, you have no feeling. That means you really need to focus on bodhicitta. When you hear compassion, you have no feeling. Then you have to more exercise on compassion. So right now in the relative level, compassion and bodhicitta are combined with mundane activities, but we try to get it from these activities. So then slowly it will grow. So even we erase or generate bodhicitta in 1 second, for 1 second we purify grasping. How? Because how? Bodhicitta means always think for others. When we think others, at least we can forget egoistic mind. So we don't want to forget bodhicitta. We have to forget egoistic mind. We have to forget egoistic mind for, usually we think, oh, we have to forget egoistic mind for the sake of others. But that is not true. We have to forget egoistic mind for the sake of oneself. Because egoistic mind is like what is called magnet. It's bring all the sufferings. Every sufferings are collected by egoistic mind. That we just close our eyes and think for a little bit, clearly we get answer. We get answer clearly. Wow, it's right. I am sick. I am not okay. I have problem. I. And then my something. They all egoistic mind, right? I and my both egoistic mind. So that's where I'm so grateful all mother sentient beings. Without mother sentient beings, how I can generate compassion? How can I generate bodhicitta? And we generate bodhicitta and compassion towards mother sentient beings. If you love more children, then children sentient beings. If you love more dogs and cats and pets, those sentient beings. And then slowly your compassion developed. At the same time, your realization developed. You will gain the realization of emptiness. Many people think, oh, if you are you have higher realizations, for example, emptiness, and so Mahamudra or Zopa Chimbo, Kada Zopa Chimbo, so forth, then maybe you don't have compassion. That is not true. If you have realization but you don't have compassion, that means your realization is not authentic realization. If that is not authentic realization, you have to fix it. So, emptiness, if you have realization of emptiness, real, pure realization of emptiness, compassion spontaneously arises. Like a sun and the sun's rays. Compassion, bodhicitta are like sun's warmth. So, that's when Milarepa said, when I see the suffering of these mother sentient beings, I felt like that those sentient beings are in the fire. Just know they are burned by fire. I feel like that. Milarepa said that. So in the relative level, we really need kind of this feeling towards the mother sentient beings. And then at the same time, we should think the kindness of mother sentient beings. I am so grateful, all mother sentient beings. Without you, I cannot generate bodhicitta and compassion. And then do more and more. So, the main benefit comes back, will not go anywhere. For example, Shakyamuni Buddha, he took rebirth thousands life, for example. 500 fortunate life and 500 unfortunate lives. So he accumulated amazing merit, and he even each and every steps for the sake of others. He practiced shamatha for the sake of others. He meditated vipassana for the sake of others. Even he sit like a cross the legs, keeps 7 posture. Even his hand, we call it sanu. How to say it's actually the represent this gesture is conquer the Mara. So this hand gesture, including this hand Buddha Shakyamuni Buddha's hand mudaras are for the sake of others. So, but finally he become enlightened in 2005 or 600 years ago. He attained Buddhahood. But other thinking beings are still remain in the samsara. And then who mimic, for example, who follow Buddha, which means what Buddha did, who did that, as well as Milarepa. Milarepa did exactly what Buddha did. That's where he became enlightened. Who make opposite of action of Shakyamuni Buddha, then that is in the hell realm. Even Buddha's cousin, brother, not Ananda, what is it? Devadatta. Devadatta, he totally did opposite of Buddha's action, and then he was in the he could not become enlightened. Right now, probably he become enlightened because he has Buddha nature, and he in the some his life stories says he regret deeply, and there are lots of good things to say. However, so bodhicitta and compassion is very important, and sometimes I think, we talk a lot about bodhicitta, compassion, but put into the action is very rare, very few. So then if it happen like that, it's better to not talk more about bodhicitta and compassion. But then I rethink about this. The talk bodhicitta, actually this motivation or this thought is come from mind. So in our mind, we have the bodhicitta as kind of favorite things. So that's where it from our mouth it comes. And at the same time, whoever heard, the listeners, one time they hear about bodhicitta, compassion, no that much feeling. Second time, third time, and then slowly, it's very possible they will gain great realization on the bodhicitta. So bodhicitta, that's where I think it's good to say often for others and oneself and for all of us. So then, however, the temporal benefit of offering to your guru is that in temporary benefit, we receive temporary benefit, healthy, wealthy lives, and many wonderful, auspicious, wonderful and auspicious things will receive. And then the ultimate benefit is that you will establish the Buddha's attributes of the body and you will become enlightened in a pure land full of auspicious things. So Amitabha Buddha's pure land, Sukhavati, we often explain about the qualities of Amitabha Buddha's pure land. So why their pure land have kind of these wonderful qualities? Because of his merit, power of his merit. So in the future, we also same like him. When we become enlightened, in the Pure Land has different layers. Some Nirmanakaya Pure Land still combined with suffering and so on. So when we attain Buddhahood, at that time, there will that Pure Land, in a Pure Land full of auspicious things, and then these things will benefit others. So whether you have grasping with these auspicious things or not, but you should need them for the benefit of others. So that's why the offering things is extremely important. So let us visualize on there for a little while. Okay. Then in the 16th visualization, you visualize yourself as Yadam deity. From your heart chakra radiate rays of light in all directions, providing all the Buddha fields. This set of offerings consists of the 7 precious royal articles that manifest from the great merit of a universal emperor, Chakravarti king. The first of the 7 is the 1,000 spoked golden well. Golden well. The Chakravarti king's will symbolize the complete sovereignty of Buddhahood. As before, one begins by visualizing oneself as the yidam, from one's heart as the yidam, one radiates rays of light that provide all Buddha fields and then transform into the precious wheel. The wheel is covered with all manner of precious decorations. It is of prodigious size, being 500 bakse in diameter. So bakse is a measure of distance. You often heard this bakse during our mandala teaching. It is quite related cosmology. The wheel shines bright as the sun. Under its power, one can travel 1,000,000 bakse in a single day and bring under its control all the lines. And people that it traverses visualize innumerable offerings of wheels, these great qualities. I will tell you a little bit about how the 7 attributes came to be. I think today we set up on mandala, we put there 7 and the royal attributes. So you often see them in the Tibetan pictures, the Tibetan temples and so forth. But if you know about this, what it represent, what kind of them, then I think it's good for you. So, however, they came about through religion, particularly the culture of Buddhism. The 7 precious attributes can only be possessed by a Chakravarti king and not by ordinary kings. The ordinary kings only have symbols of them. They don't have that. They don't have them. At the beginning of the fortunate eon, the lifespans of living beings, and especially humans, are very long. At that time, Chakravarti kings come. Also, at that time, when human beings can live 800 years, Chakravarti kings come when lifespan decreases to less than 800 years. They don't come. People can no longer be tamed at this point because they are dissatisfied no matter what they receive, like wealth or other things that the Chakravarti kings give to benefit them. Through the 7 precious attributes, Chakravarti kings come when people have less desire, so that people are satisfied. When the kings give things to them, in the degenerate time, they cannot liberate people through this method. So that's why they do not come. Actually, Chakravarti kings are bodhisattvas who have reached the bhumis and can choose what rebirth they want to take for the benefit of others. There are different kinds of Chakravarti kings, and they liberate other beings through their power. This power has different aspects. First, a Chakravarti king come to the earth and then wash himself before taking the Sobjong vows on a full moon day. Then in space, the golden thousand-spoked whale appears, and the king holds it in his hand and says, "Precious golden whale, show me the way the previous Chakravarti king used you." Then the golden whale goes in the eastern direction in space, and the Chakravarti king and his entourage follow in the eastern direction. People see the golden whale and come to see the king and make offerings to welcome him. Through the king's power, the beings under his rule abandon the 10 non-virtues and cultivate the 10 virtues. And in this way, the king liberates all of those beings until all of the beings abandon the 10 non-virtues and cultivate the 10 virtues. They will remain there without moving. Once they all do that, then the wheel starts to move in other directions. The Chakravarti kings have different levels, with some having more power than others. Second Chakravarti king, who holds the silver wheel. The king rules the 4 directions. His subjects also abandon the 10 virtues and cultivate the 10 virtues. His subject also abandon the 10 non-virtues and cultivate the 10 virtues. Third is the Chakravarti king, who holds the copper wheel. This king only rules the beings on earth. He leads them to virtuous ways and to give up the 10 non-virtues. He also leads them to give up harm through weapons, disease, and poison, and cause them to promise to abandon negative deeds and to do only virtuous things. Through their merit, these Chakravarti kings have great power, sound bodies, and wealth. Everything is auspicious and perfect. Through their power, they conquer lesser bad kings. We call them Chakravarti kings. Chakra means will, and they rule through using their will. Wherever they stay, the 7 virtues, attributes, spontaneously arise for them, we should visualize multiple wheels and other auspicious objects, filling all of space. These offerings will remain until the end of samsara, and it pleases all the Buddhas. The essence of these auspicious things are Buddha's wisdom. Whoever sees them, it purifies their two obscurations. They see the qualities of all these objects and are impressed and are drawn to listen to the advice of the Chakravarti kings. The kings advise them to purify the 10 non-virtues and to practice the 10 virtues. And in this way, the beings purify the two obscurations. The main reason for making the offerings is to realize that they are no different from Buddha's mind. The benefit of realizing that is that it purifies the obscurations in your own mind. Once you purify your own mind, once you purify your obscurations, you will understand that your own mind and Buddha's mind are the same. Perhaps you think that if your own mind is the same as Buddha's mind, then what's the need for making all these offerings? It's easy to say that, but for example, if I describe the features of the sun, it doesn't mean that you can look directly at the sun and see them. You need some kind of special equipment to look at it. The reason for failing the whole universe with these offerings is to introduce the experience that your bodhicitta is as vast as space. Visualizing that you are offering them to all the Buddhas purifies your self-grasping. If you practice making such vast offerings of precious things, then it becomes easy for you to offer small things. For example, if you can give someone $100,000, then it will be easy to give them $10. The second royal article is faceted, wish-fulfilling jewel. The Chakravarti king's jewel symbols the elimination of all miseries, the fulfillment of all wishes, and the removal of all poverty. Its radiance goes out in all directions for 100 pakshe. And within the radius, it removes the threat of untimely death and protects all with its sphere from disease, danger. It has the ability to cool places that are hot and to warm places that are cold. If one supplicates it, the jewel will cause whatever is desired, such as food, clothing, and wealth, to rain down upon the land. Visualize innumerable offerings of jewels with these incomparable qualities. The way a Chakravartin king gets the jewel is as follows. He goes with a householder in a boat to the center of the ocean and tells that householder that he needs the jewel. The householder puts his hand in the water and comes up with many precious things, including the wish-fulfilling jewel. He tells the king to take whatever he needs, and then he will put the rest back in the ocean. The king selects the wish-fulfilling jewel and wishes that all sentient beings in samsara may be liberated from all suffering and have all temporal and ultimate benefit through the jewel. The wish-fulfilling jewel is a great metaphor for bodhicitta. It has no thought or intention of doing this or that, but it brings benefit spontaneously. Similarly, when our bodhicitta increases, then we have no thought of benefit for ourselves, but we spontaneously benefit all mother sentient beings. In the same way, the Dharmakaya radiates the other kayas to benefit beings without any thought or intention of doing so. We all have this wish-fulfilling jewel, which is our bodhicitta. This jewel does not bring benefit automatically, but it must be cleaned and placed on top of a victory banner. When we supplicate it to accomplish our wish, similarly our bodhicitta does not manifest automatically right now. So we should cultivate it towards our parents, siblings, relatives, friends, and then all beings. Especially we should generate bodhicitta toward our enemies. If you can do that, then you are a great bodhisattva. There is a story about a king who had 3 sons. This is a pretty interesting story. This story does not come from Buddha Dharma, but I already mentioned, if you do correctly through bodhicitta, everything's are Dharma practice. So that's why I would like to share this story. So it's pretty interesting. So one day the king called them. There is a story about a king who had 3 sons. One day the king called them into his room and told them that he was getting old and that one of them should take up his responsibility. He said that he was going to look into which of the sons could do that. And he said that they should each go away for 1 year and then come back. Each of the 3 sons went to a different place. The oldest son went to a town where many people gathered. Someone who he didn't know gave the eldest son a box filled with gold and asked him to give it to a certain other person who he also didn't know. And he did as that person requested. He was very honest. So he did not take any of the gold for himself. When he got back to his father, the king, he told the king what had happened. His father said that it was wonderful, that he was honest and had helped others, but that it wasn't surprising that his son had such humane qualities, because that was something that everyone should have. So the king didn't make the oldest son the king. The middle son went to a remote forest where he came upon someone starving and thirsty, who had been robbed of all his possessions. The son helped him and went to find the robbers. When he found them, he fought them and recovered the man's possession and returned them to him. The person who was robbed was extremely grateful and happy and invited the middle son to his town as his guest. The townspeople heard of his kindness and power and celebrated him and offered him many precious things. But he did not take any of the gifts. After the year had passed, he went back to his father, the king, and reported what had happened. The king said that it was great that he had helped the man, and also that he had been so powerful in conquering the robbers. However, those qualities were expected of a prince and were nothing surprising. So he didn't make the middle son king either. The youngest son went to a solitary place by a cliff higher on a mountain. There he saw a man sleeping, and he approached to see who it might be. it turned out to be his worst enemy who had harmed him many times. The son saw that he could easily push his enemy over the cliff while he was sleeping, or even if the man just moved a little on his own, he might fall off the cliff. The son woke the man up and warned him not to sleep in such a dangerous place, or he might fall off the cliff, and then he left. One day, while he was walking through a forest, he met a hungry tiger, and the tiger tried to eat him. At that moment, his enemy, who had seen on top of the mountain, appeared. His enemy helped him, and together they killed the tiger. Then the son, the prince, asked his enemy why had helped him this time, when he had harmed him so many times in the past. The man replied that it was because the prince had helped him when he was in danger of falling over the cliff. With that, the two became friends and were no longer enemies. When the prince got back to the kingdom, he told his father, the king, what had happened. He said that was all he had done and nothing else very, very special. His father, king, said that it was very special and unique to turn an enemy into a friend, and that it was the kind of quality that a king should have. So the king made his youngest son his successor. The youngest son's main power was his compassion. In the yellow prayer book that we use every day, we pray that enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and sweetly attain enlightenment. This story is saying the same thing. So we always we are quite easy to generate compassion towards our friend. I think actually this is a great. If you don't have generated compassion in the Buddhista before, then you should start it through your pet, your friends, relatives, and so forth. But then slowly, if we more focus on our enemy, I mean someone who hated you, who tried to harm you, then give more compassion on that person or that beings, and then your compassion quickly develop or increase. At that moment, if you after that, if you try to generate compassion and bodhicitta towards your friend and then relatives, it's very easy. And then especially we have to generate compassion to all mother thinking beings because we should practice unlimited bodhicitta and compassion. Unlimited bodhicitta and compassion, or immeasurable compassion and bodhicitta. So how can we generate immeasurable compassion and bodhicitta? We suddenly think all mother thinking beings, may they free from suffering. That is immeasurable compassion. We think all mother thinking beings, may they attain Buddhahood. This is immeasurable bodhicitta. So, we try to. These offering things are qualities of these bodhicittas. So, Malarepa, I told you during the mandala offering practice, Malarepa has also 7 royal attributes. So, which are his practices of 6 parimitas. So we all, perhaps you think, oh, I don't have money to buy 7 attributes, these things, how I can offer. You practice 6 parimitas perfectly, this is the best offering. So these are the royal attributes, and this benefit or merit will remain until you attain enlightenment. Okay. Yeah, then still there are quite more, but today we were not able to finish, so we will quickly recite the root text of Golden Temple, and please recite it through your compassion and bodhicitta. If you will not, you don't have this text, don't worry, you meditate at that moment, offering the visualizations.
I gaze upon the Supreme, self-arisen Lama, seated on the immutable, spontaneously established throne. Here in the mandala of primordially pure mind as it is, in the supreme palace of all victorious ones of the 3 times. I gaze upon the Supreme Lama, who is meaningful to behold. The instant I behold that great bliss of Dharmadhatu, I cross the vast ocean of samsara and arrive at the pure, blissful ground. With the eye of wisdom, I gaze unwaveringly upon the Lama, the victorious hero in the battle. Just by remembering that refuge, all afflicting emotions, thoughts, and the hordes of maras are defeated. In your body, the victorious ones of the 3 times, of all 10 directions, appear together with their offspring. With joy, I gaze upon your body, adorned with all the major and minor marks, seated on the throne of fearlessness, lotus, sun, and moon. 3 kayas, nature of the mind, Vajradhara, you are inseparable from great bliss. Bowing down to you with innumerable bodies like cloud banks, yearning with a full voice, I prostrate and go for refuge. Your body, the nature of precious bodhicitta, is inseparable from all the victorious ones of the three times. Thus all Buddha fields are permeated by your body, and within your body all Buddha fields appear. I bow down to the glorious one. With your flawless, melodious speech, like an ocean of ambrosia, you show all phenomena to be unborn, thereby defeating the Mount Meru of views. I prostrate to your unhindered Vajra speech. In the mandala of immutable mind beyond thought, you never move from the equanimity state of Dharmadhatu, yet you hold the wisdom power of knowing the three times. I prostrate to the spontaneously established non-duality. Even if expressed during all oceans of kalpas, by all the victorious ones without exception, the qualities of your body, speech, and mind would not be completed. I prostrate to you who possesses limitless qualities. Until the ocean of samsara is exhausted, you perform the supreme activities that ripen all sentient beings. I prostrate to you, the Lama, who is the manifold, effortlessly arising, unceasing, supreme refuge. Oceans of emanated offerings to you delight the victorious ones and ripen all sentient beings. Having completely filled the Dharmadhatu, I make this unsurpassed offering unceasingly. From the heart palace of the great being radiates the light of immeasurable bodhicitta. Thus in all the pure lands of the 10 directions, innumerable beautiful offering goddesses manifest, holding water, flowers, incense, lamps, supreme scents, and food. From the cloud banks of offerings, rain falls, delighting the victorious ones of the three times. Thereby filling the spheres of realms, I make offerings to the victorious ones of the three times. Light radiates once more from the body of the victorious one, manifesting parasols, victory banners, draped banners, canopies, musical instruments, garments, precious jewels, medicine, and grains. I offer ocean-like cloud banks of these manifold offerings. The 7 precious royal attributes like the wheel, the 7 subsidiary ones like the mansion, the auspicious substances, the substances of the siddhis, and so on have arisen from the 2 accumulations. Please accept these offerings. Furthermore, I behold in my mind and offer to the Protector all offerings throughout the limitless pure lands of the victorious ones that belong to an owner and do not belong to an owner, and all that is worthy to be offered. I offer all pure lands of the victorious ones of the three times, which are the very pure mandalas of the 3 kayas, completely filled with flawless prosperity. Please accept these offerings, you, the Lord of Compassion. To you, Protector, I offer my body, speech, and mind, all wealth equal to space without exception, and all the virtues accumulated in the 3 times. Out of compassion, please accept these for the benefit of all sentient beings. By seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and recollecting the Vajra goddesses of form, sound, odor, taste, and tangible objects, the 3 obscurations are purified. I offer the goddesses of appealing objects to you. Please accept them, immaculate, victorious Lord. The Vajra goddess of body, nature of form, is the supreme goddess of fully purified ignorance. I merge her with the eyes of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of mind, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified hatred. I merge her with the ears of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of qualities, nature of odor, is the supreme goddess of fully purified arrogance. I merge her with the nose of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of speech, nature of taste, is the supreme goddess of fully purified desire. I merge her with the tongue of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of activity, nature of tangible objects, is the supreme goddess of fully purified jealousy. I merge her with the body of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of primordial emptiness of all phenomena, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified mind as it is. I merge her with the mind of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. I offer means and wisdom inseparable, the Supreme Victorious One, the 5 families with consorts, the assembly of Viras and Dakinis, and the Buddhas filling the limitless sky. Please accept this great bliss. From the equality of all phenomena, the ocean-like samadhi, oceans of unwavering manifestations arise and guide all beings. Please accept the assemblies of the victorious offspring, the bodhisattvas who rule all Buddha fields. The ones of great fierceness, wrathful out of immeasurable compassion, show grinding teeth and fierce faces on their posing bodies. Please accept these wrathful victorious ones of primordial wisdom, who defeat the hordes of Maras by the roar of Hung and Pet. All manifold clouds of outer, inner, and secret offerings are offered in this vast mandala of Samantabhadra's mind, within the mode of abiding of unchanging non-duality. The unsurpassed offering of suchness is offered. All phenomena are primarily and completely pure mind as it is. Within that, whatever confusion, dualistic appearance of oneself and others, distinction of good and bad, hatred and attachment there might be, each and everything I confess. May it be purified within that state. With a happy mind, I rejoice in all the virtues of all the victorious ones of the 3 times, of the assemblies of the superior ones, of the unceasing wheel of the 2 accumulations, and of unsentient beings. I beseech you, protectors in the worlds of the 10 directions, by completely turning the wheel of stainless Dharma with the sound of the ocean-like branches of melodious speech, please ripen all sentient beings without exception. I beseech you, protectors who abide throughout all realms, please do not pass into nirvana until the exhaustion of the dhatu of space. Rather, fulfill your commitments by abiding permanently. May all sentient beings be established in the unsurpassed supreme state by this virtue, by the virtues accumulated in the 3 times throughout all samsara and nirvana, and by the undefiled innate virtue. By the light rays of immeasurable great compassion from the palace of body, speech, and mind of the victorious one, please purify my body, speech, and mind, and thus transform it into your body, speech, and mind. Protector, as you made offerings and delighted the sublime Lama, likewise may I always offer ocean-like clouds of offerings and delight you. May I follow in your footsteps. May I perform limitless activities that do not even waver a hair's tip with respect to the liberation of your body, speech, and mind. May I be renowned in the three worlds. Thus may anybody just by hearing my name or remembering me be completely liberated from the tormenting suffering and attain the state of great bliss of the victorious ones. May I turn into any form equal to the expanse of sentient beings, taming them according to their needs. Thereupon may they take refuge joyfully and be established in the unsurpassed supreme awakening. Those ones who are oppressed with shrouds of ignorance, who lost the path, who are threatened by afflicting emotions, such as the henchmen of the Lord of Death, may they helplessly remember me and instantly find the supreme path. Becoming the inexhaustible wheel of ornamentation, which is body, speech, and mind of all victorious ones of the three times, may I completely dry out the ocean of samsara and establish all sentient beings in the unsurpassed supreme state. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the authentic Lama and enjoy the glories of the Dharma. By completely perfecting the qualities of bhumis and paths, may I swiftly attain the state of Vajradhara.
Chancho sencho rainbow che ma je ba nan je jur je ba nyam ba me ba yang con de pe var yo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Dhamma practice time.